root of the great majority of diseases and pains, physical ones, I'm talking about physical ones, is, let me show you the first slide, depression. So depression is the leading cause of ill health and disability worldwide. If there is one problem that is truly bringing many prejudices, many consequences in a negative way upon humanity, this is the problem, depression. Because it doesn't matter whether you are rich, poor, it doesn't matter whether you are married or single, it doesn't matter whether you are man or woman, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter whether you are American, Filipino, Brazilian, Chinese, it doesn't matter. You know, depression will always challenge you. Always. Let me continue for you to understand. Let me open up to you about depression. Because almost every human being has been challenged by depression. Including, amazingly, including the Lord Jesus and majority of biblical characters. You know, the great majority of those heroes of faith in the Bible, they had to face the same challenge that perhaps you are facing right now in your life. Depression. Depression. Depression came to Bishop Macedo. Depression came to me. I was challenged by depression. So according to psychiatric, depression is a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. Depression causes feelings of sadness and or a loss of interest in activities once enjoyed. It can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems and can decrease a person's ability to function at work and at home. So I took it from official websites, that deal with this problem. So it's officially recognized. It is spoken by those authorities in science in regards to depression. So let me continue. Another one. So depression symptoms can vary from mild to severe and can include, pay attention, feeling sad or having a depressed mood. So again, it's like you shut yourself in a shell. You isolate yourself. You become different. Your mood is completely different. You may not be aggressive, but you become completely different. You are now not communicating with people who usually you'd communicate well. You feel bothered by being with those people that before you used to have pleasure to be with. So it's one of the signs. Then loss of interest or pleasure in activities once enjoyed. Even the Facebook thing that before was, something big. Now you don't feel like accessing, you don't feel like posting, you don't feel like, and There is no pleasure to do what before would bring such great pleasure to you. You don't have pleasure to call your family members, to talk to your children, to talk to your husband. Everything you do by force. You are dragged to do something because naturally you don't feel like doing those things anymore. And then change in appetite, weight loss or gain, unrelated to dieting. So it doesn't matter how you are dieting, either you gain weight or you lose weight. So you are eating apparently well, but you are losing weight. Or you are not eating at all, but you are gaining weight. So something is wrong in your body. But actually, it's not in your body. Okay? So, trouble is sleeping or is sleeping too much. Bishop, I cannot sleep well. Sometimes I sleep, but it's completely different. I used to sleep well. I used to lie on my bed, put my head upon my pillow, and then count 1, 2, 3, 4. This is it. But now, when I start to sleep, it's already 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and I have to wake up 6 o'clock in the morning. That's the problem. Understand, yes or no? So you don't have a good sleep. It brings prejudice to your physical body, for sure. Then loss of energy or increased fatigue. So you feel tired. You wake up tired. You're already tired in the morning. And the whole day you are tired. You drag yourself to do things that before there was no problem for you. You do, and no problem. But now, wow, as you do the same things, you feel like, that one kilo machine. Now for you, it is 100 kilos. Yeah. So feeling worthless or guilty all the time. All the time. You blame yourself for everything. Everything. You were not like this before. You'd support yourself. You'd be a powerful, self-supporter. But now you hate yourself for everything. You blame yourself for everything. You hate yourself. You don't like yourself. You don't support yourself. Okay? So, difficulty thinking, concentrating, or making decisions. I can see even in the church, some people, they do not concentrate. They find it so hard to pray. So hard it is to pray for some people because they cannot concentrate. Even if it is happening among us hundreds of people, I can imagine when you are all alone, you lose your concentration, you lose your focus so easily. You are so forgetful. You forget to do things. And you are reprimanded. You are rebuked by your employer because you are forgetting to do simple things, daily tasks that your employer doesn't need even to tell you that you have to do. So you are so forgetful. Bishop, but it's normal. And people sometimes blame their age. Bishop, I'm getting there. I'm getting older. It happens with young people. It happens with young people. The youngsters, they also are suffering with this. Amen? So, thoughts of death, or maybe you never entertained those thoughts, but they came to you. Why don't you kill yourself? Why don't you put an end to this horrible life of yours? Kill yourself. Kill yourself. You know, I got attacked by depression, but I never had this idea in my mind. I never entertained that. I never even heard this idea from the devil. Kill yourself. But some of you, the stage of your depression is so advanced that now the devil has freedom to come and say, hey, kill yourself. Kill yourself. But I have good news for you. I have good news for you because from today on, not only every Sunday, every day, this is the thing. Be free from depression in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I don't need 10 minutes. I don't need even 5 minutes. I just need 3 minutes to destroy depression. This is something that the world is crazy about. Here, in 3 minutes, we can destroy it. Amen. Do you believe? Touch my head. Look at me. Why are you laughing? Why are you smiling?
I feel light in my body.
And joy. What about joy?
Yes.
Do you have joy there?
Yes.
So can you laugh right now? Can you laugh? Amen! Amen! Praise God! Look at the camera. How are you feeling now inside? Be honest.
I feel light in my body. Before I came, it's so hard for me.
You know.
And now, thank you.
Amen! Amen!
I was with a few of my mates at one of my friend's house. We were watching football, and then I heard a bit of commotion at the door. There was a lot of verbal abuse, a lot of swearing. They tried at this moment to get through the door, and I pushed them out of the way. And the guy decided to bring out a baseball bat. At that moment, I saw red. A fight broke out straight away. As soon as I saw the bat, I decided to go for him. So a fight broke out. I turned around and I saw a knife. I decided to tell all the guys that I was with to go back into the room and lock the door because I wasn't ready to see anyone get stabbed. When I got into the room, I felt the same feeling I felt the first time I was stabbed, which was a wet patch. And I lifted up my jacket. All of a sudden, everyone started to panic. Even one of my close friends started to cry. He had never seen something like that. I thought to myself, hold on, imagine I died right now. It's not just what's gonna happen to me, but how would it affect all these guys that were not involved in anything like this before? Because before they met me, none of them used to smoke weed. None of them used to be involved in any type of criminal activity. They were just, can I say, normal guys. They were just, in uni to get an education and enjoy life. Then I got them into all types of problems that they never expected to get into. And I could tell that they were sitting there thinking about life. And then I thought to myself, imagine the knife went deeper. Or imagine it hit a major artery and I died instantly. Then I thought deeper, imagine my mum and my dad who came to this country to give me a better life. So it hit me at that moment. Although I didn't act straight away upon it, I used to think about it all the time. So I wasn't always a bad person. To be honest, I was classed as a good student. I was getting good grades in primary school, good grades when I first entered secondary school. But the people around me weren't always as good as me. So when I was in year 9, we went to upper school. So we were around the year 10s, the year 11s, the sixth formers. A lot of them were bad guys who were involved in gangs and a lot of criminal activities. And smoking was a big trend in year 9. I wanted to be part of that trend. I wanted to be involved. That's how I started smoking weed. And I was getting closer to the gang life. I used to get involved in rival gangs, a lot of fights, a lot of stabbings, a lot of bottling. One thing that we were taught was never to run from anything. So we had to do whatever it took to either chase them down, catch them, do something to them, or make sure that that person had to run away. So that's the lifestyle we were involved in. Robberies, a lot of robberies, selling of drugs to get easy money. And then it spiraled out of control where there were deaths. I would lie to my parents and say, oh yeah, I'm going out to play football. That happened a lot until the first time I was arrested for a weapon, and I was meant to be playing football on that day. After that, that's when I got stabbed. After that, the first time I got stabbed, I was at the bus stop waiting. I sat there and then 2 boys came. Then that number doubled to the point where there was about 8 boys and they were all circling me at the bus stop. Then we had a big fight where it was me and my girlfriend, because she was fighting as well, against all of them. And I felt a wet patch on my trousers. So then I touched my jeans and then I saw blood. Then I realized I got stabbed. In my mind, I was scared because I didn't know where the stab was. I didn't know exactly where it was. I could just feel pain. So I started to run. I was running and I turned around and they were still chasing me. I was thinking, yeah, you're gonna die today. And then I ran into a pub and I stood there with the 2 bottles in my hand thinking, look, they've got knives, you've got bottles. They're gonna stab you a few times and you're gonna die. The lies started to build up and I started to get arrested more often, and my mum started to notice that I was involved in something, but I always used to deny that I was involved. In the back of my mind, I knew that I needed to change because I was affecting too many people. So I was invited to a youth group, and when the friend invited me, I remember that I was like, oh yeah, people were really happy there. I started to attend more to the youth group. I started to hear messages of change, of how you could grow and how you don't have to be stuck in the lifestyle that you're living. And I heard a lot of stories about people whose lives were similar to mine, but they managed to get out of it through faith. And it's funny because one person I used to have problems with was explaining his story, and I knew it wasn't fake because I had problems with him. So I knew that he had actually gone through some of the things that I was going through. And when he explained the way he changed, and I saw the change was genuine, I was like, wow, if he can do it, then I definitely can. It wasn't easy, to be honest. I heard faith and I was like, faith? Where do I start with faith? But when I started to come more and learn and actually put what I learned into practice, I began to see changes in myself, not just myself, but in my family, in those who were around me. I began to see some serious changes. There's a big difference from how I used to be to how I am now. The places I couldn't go to before, I'm able to go there, and I'm also able to see the people I used to have problems with. I can speak to them and also try to invite them to the same youth group that I was invited to, so that they can see the transformation for themselves. Although they see it in me already, they can still see it for themselves. I don't need to smoke weed to sleep at night or to feel happy. And my family is completely transformed. We're united. My parents trust me. And it's all thanks to the power of faith. I decided to take an action. I decided to trust in God and actually give God a chance. Each and every time I activate faith, my life gets better. And I'm moving forward. The same way I was helped is the same way I'm helping others. And it's amazing because every time I see someone coming out of that period of life where they were and changing, it brings this joy to me. It brings this joy to me, and I don't think anything else can compare to it, to be honest.
It was actually in my secondary school it happened. I was after the boy, because he was putting things on Facebook about me, about the thing that happened with the death that I saw, and I was after him. But then I went to his house, and then banging on the door and stuff. And then we saw him in that, because I was with a couple of my guys. And then I don't know what came out. It's like I just blacked out. Literally, I don't know what came over me. I just remember I was shaking, just the thoughts that were going through my head. I was just picturing, the little boy that was just laying there because of these guys. I can't imagine what I put that family through that day. He had nothing to do with it. And as I said, as I went home, literally I was feeling sick, shaking. I didn't come out after that for about a week because I didn't want to come out. I was literally it's like I was traumatized. I was speaking to my mum about this, about everything I got myself into. And she said that obviously from a young age I was already kicking off and stuff, but by 13 I was already involved in the gangs, the fighting. She said, so I didn't really have that childhood. And she said, she started noticing change for me from the age of 13. She started seeing, finding knives in my bag, random money popping up, phones that didn't belong to me, at the age of 13. So that's when I already got myself involved. At the age of 16, I had 2 court cases with a massive criminal record. It started, as just postcodes, areas, but then after a while I got, personal. They'll come after my family, I'll go after theirs. So a lot of money things were involved. We would leave each other dead if we could, So it got that personal. I had a close family member at the time, we used to call each other cousins. he was around 5, I was taking him to the shop. A car speed hit him, and I watched him die. Ambulance came, he was pronounced dead. The day after, I was getting Facebook posts, comments, laughing at me, saying I left him to die, all these things. From that, I wasn't the same again, They just took someone that was like family to me, so even when I did these things, even if I felt guilty, I always put in my mind, but they did this, so I'm gonna do even worse to them. 2 years ago, I had to move areas. I lived in Newham, I had to move out to Essex because I did a bank scam on someone, and all these people were after me. They knew where I lived. And I was at TAG at that time, so when I was out, my mum told me 3 months ago that about 6 guys, they ran into my house, smashed through my door. They told my little brothers to go upstairs. For me, that was hard to hear, I was just speechless, I was in tears. My mum was crying and was just trying to find the right words to say, but nothing was coming out. I hugged her, I said, I'm sorry, but nothing I said could have made up for what she went through. Just to hear from another point of view, I went and asked my little brother what happened as well. And then as he told me, he was in my arms, he was crying. And he was telling me that, sometimes he still hears, my mum screaming. Feels like he can still hear it. I've really just loved, not I loved my life, but I was used to it. You know, I liked the power I had, the reputation I had the sort of respect. You know, I felt if I left all of that, I have nothing. You know, if I stopped doing certain things, if I changed, these people that are around me, they wouldn't want to be around me anymore. You know, I wouldn't be where I was. I'd have literally nothing. So it was a sort of sense of fear, you know, and yeah, I just really loved my reputation at the time. Many things I've tried, because I was in youth offenders, the yacht program for around 2 years, because when I finished my first 9 months, I got arrested 8 days later. I had to go straight back. You know, I tried counselling, but then I ended up attacking my counsellor. So a lot of things I was trying. Even I had a teacher in my school that was really trying to help me change. I couldn't, you know, everything. I was literally trying everything out there to change, but I was always being drawn back to what I used to do. I'm not allowed in my old area no more, so we got moved out to Essex. First, I wasn't seeing a lot of the old people I was seeing. I speak to them, I see them now and then. I wasn't seeing much, so already I was sort of having that detachment, but then, you know, the girlfriend I was at the time, she brought me to the love school. You know, she brought me to the church and stuff like that, you know. And from then, I just came off tag, literally about a week before. So it was really, I needed a fresh start, you know, and then when I started speaking to people that went through the same thing, you know, probably even worse than me, they were telling me, no, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. From then I found out motivation within me that I never felt before. The thing that really stuck with me is that God is always with you, innit? Because with me, I didn't trust people. I didn't have people to speak to. But even when I'm alone and I'm with my problems, I found it so nice that I'm not alone, because I can just speak to God. I can find strength from someone. And I'm not just speaking to anyone that can't really do nothing for me. I'm speaking to God who can empower me, that can strengthen me. From young, my mum was always telling me by 18 I'll be dead or I'll be in prison, you know, stuff like that. But for someone to actually say, you have potential, you know, God really wants to use you, for me that was just like, it just shocked me. I want my family to be even more united. Because me and my mum, we don't argue, we don't fight like I used to, you know. We have deep talks, I give her advice. You know, my little brothers, they see me as an older brother now, where I take them out all the time. You know, they say they want to be like me. You know, I finally have a relationship with my brother, my older brother, where we couldn't speak before because I couldn't get through to him. But we speak now, maybe not as deep as I want it to be yet, but we speak. You know, I didn't see my real dad for 11 years. I finally building a relationship with him now. I want to be an actor, going back to college in September after I got kicked out, after no college would take me. You know, I'm part-time working. And I want to, I'm going into youth work, you know, youth offenders now, giving my story, telling them that, you know, you can change. I'm going into an area that I couldn't go before, giving my story, giving other youths hope, saying if I can change, you can do it. Youths that used to look up to me, saying, oh, this guy's crazy. Now I'm telling them, come, you can change as well. So, you know, this is my goal, is to people that was in my situation, to get them out of that situation as well. If you're out there, what are you going to gain? Literally, you're going to always watch over your back. If you come and give it all to God, and He takes care of you, you know, what have you got to lose? That's literally what it comes down to. You know, if it's a life or death situation, you're either going to be in prison, you're going to be dead. If you come and you give your everything to God, give God a chance to do something in your life, then what have you got to lose? You know, you give Him everything, He gives you everything, and trust me, you're in a much better situation than you are now.